Thank you, everyone, for joining this webinar today. I love hosting these with Shai. I think they're really fun, and it kind of gives more of a personal connection to the university because, as we know, everyone's studying online, but we try to make the experience as personal as possible. So, with that being said, I don't think you really want to hear from me. I'm Jessica. If I didn't introduce myself. I'm really happy to be here, and I am going to let Shai take over. So, Shai, why don't you give a little intro about yourself for those who don't know you, and maybe you can give the students some interesting information about your background and why you started the university. Maybe that's a good way to start.
Okay, good. So I'm Shai Reshef. I guess that all of you know. I founded the University of the People and I'm the president for the last over 16 years. In January, it will be 17 years, so a long time. And I created University of the People for those who graduate high school, qualified for higher education, but cannot afford it for any reason, whether it is too expensive, whether they need a flexibility that traditional schools don't offer. Maybe they live in countries where there aren't enough universities, or simply they are deprived for any, not simply, but they are deprived for any cultural, political, or any personal reason prevent them from studying. And we use the internet in order to bring education to them. Um, we just started a new academic year. By now, we have over 170,000 students coming from 200 countries and territories. So we have people from all over the world, and we are very happy to serve so many students.
Yeah, it's a really impressive number, very exciting. Um, okay, great. So we have many questions from students. So I'm gonna just go in there and I'm just gonna go for it and start asking you the questions. And
Please.
I would love for the audience to keep commenting. I love watching the comments come in. So let's keep it interactive. Okay, so the first question is from Abdul, and he asks you, what inspired you to create a tuition for university, and what keeps you motivated to continue this journey despite global challenges?
I was in education for many, many years before I started University of the People. And along the way, I realized that education is the secret for success. If you educate one person, you can change a life. And if you educate many, you can change the world. And I realized that there are so many people who cannot afford higher education and therefore do not have a chance to have a better future and change their future and the future of their families, their countries, and the world. So I looked around and I realized that all the online universities and actually the previous businesses that I had cost a lot of money. And higher education was unaffordable to a lot of people, but at the same time, through the development of the internet and social networking, that there are a lot of new developments that can cut the cost of higher education. Open source technology, which is technology that people can use for free. Open educational resources, which is content that professors put on the net for others to use for free. And the new internet phenomena or the social networking phenomena where professors came online and helped students for free. And I told myself, well, between technology, content, and professors, that's a university. So let's put all these free ingredients together and we have a tuition-free university. So the idea of tuition-free university was exactly that, to use whatever is available and bring through the internet education to the people who deserve it most and not necessarily can have it otherwise. So I announced the University of the People, and it got a great reception, and a lot of people joined to volunteer and to make it happen, and it happened.
Okay, it's a wonderful story. So thank you, Abdul, if you're joining us today. Okay, so Vladimir, he asks, what is the most important value you want every student to take away from their experience at University of the People?
Well, I want students to take a lot of things. I think that we teach the students to be part of the world. Every time you take a class, and if you are new to your people, you will see it again and again. Every time you take a class, you meet 20, maybe 30 students from 20 to 30 different countries. So we make the world small for you. We make it the world we make you be part of the real world. We teach you critical thinking. We teach you how to work with teams around the world, but at the same time, in order to succeed with us, you must have the motivation, you must have self-discipline, and all these things I know that will help you along the way. But I think more than anything else, what I hope will guide you along the way with your people and definitely afterwards is that if you encounter difficulties, don't give up. And you will encounter difficulties. In life, life sometimes, you know, it's a tough way. It's a long way, and sometimes it's really tough. But the survivors are those who never give up and continue working and doing all the work, even when it's hard, until they succeed. And I'm saying that because I think that that's the one thing I hope everyone will get out of your people with the power to take things, even if they don't go very easy, and continue pushing until you succeed.
I love that. Never give up. It's very true. I saw a question actually that I really want to ask you. Um, it's a very good question. I think it's from, and I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but Bukola. He asked, or she, I'm sorry, what inspired the name University of the People?
Very simple. University of the People is university of the people, by the people, for the people. So the university is based on volunteers. They are the people who build the university. I'm a volunteer. The deans are volunteers. The instructors are volunteers. We're doing it for the people all over the world. Every single person on earth, high school diploma, is welcome to come and study with us. So we are there for the people to help the people. So we are a university of the people.
I
As
love that.
simple as that.
It's such a simple answer. So thank you so much for answering that live question. I'm going to go back to the other questions that students submitted, and this one is from Jasmine. And Jasmine asks, how do you envision the university adapting its unique model to address the evolving global landscape of higher education in light of rapid technological advancements and increasing demand for skills-based learning?
I think that University of the People is positioned great or right in the forefront of leading where higher education is heading. Because when we started 17 years ago, hardly anyone taught online. We were there and people were very skeptical about what we do. People were skeptical about our model, our financial model, and being tuition free and leaning so much on volunteers, but also about whether online can deliver the good. So it was, a long road to convince people of the quality of online. However, along the way, we had COVID, and COVID forced every university in the world to close their doors and to move online. And guess what? We were one of the very few who knew how to make it happen, how to do it.
Right.
So every university went online. Many of them made a lot of mistakes because they didn't know how to do it right. We were right there. And if at the beginning people look at us as if we were in the margin, all of a sudden we were the mainstream. After COVID, a lot of universities went back to the good old days simply because they didn't know how to use the internet. They were afraid of the internet. But surprise, more and more students wanted to study online. By now, almost every university in the US offer online degrees, definitely online courses, and every single student take at least one online course. So online became the norm. So when I look at the future, first of all, I think that online is going to continue growing. Simply because it suits better the younger generation and the future generations. Because when you think about it, when you want to study, sometimes you sit in the class and the professor speaks too fast. Sometimes the professor speaks too slow. Well, when you study at home and watch it online, well, you can speed it up, you can slow it down, you can decide the pace. Moreover, some students, many students like many different ways of studying, whether it is through video, whether it is through discussion, whether it is through reading, whether it is through questions. Well, the technology is now evolving through AI to enable personalized learning. So online through AI will enable every student to study the way they like to study and the way they study better. So the future of online is obviously there. It will save a lot of time from the students. By the way, online is cheaper than a traditional face-to-face. So even if you pay full tuition, it should be cheaper if you study online, and it will be cheaper in the future for sure. But the technology enable AI to be the future, and as such, I see ourselves in the forefront of higher education, in the forefront of using technology in higher education, and simply continue to grow, but at the same time, having a better service to our students.
Very, very interesting. You were really ahead of the curve over there with the online learning. I'm gonna take a live question actually from Rada, Rada. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Rada's from Chicago, so we go way back. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know Rada, but I love the Chicago connection. Anyway, she says, how does UO People ensure that its degrees remain recognized and respected worldwide as the university continues to grow?
Well, it's very simple. From the very beginning, we decided, when we started in 2009, it was clear to us that we want to be accredited. Now, does accredited make you better? Not necessarily. Accreditation see that you are good, and it's actually a recognition that you are good. So, but the main point is that people who are outside of your organization, that's their best way to evaluate you, right? To evaluate you because they come and say, okay, if you are accredited, we believe that you are good. So we worked on our first accreditation with the DAC and we received it in 2014. But then students start pushing us and say, this is not good enough for us. We want you to be regionally accredited. So we applied for WASC, and early this year, we received WASC accreditation. So WASC is a regional accreditation. That's the body that accredited Stanford. That's the that's the accreditation agency that accredited Berkeley as well as UCLA. So it's great institutions are with us, accredited with WASC, and that's pretty much the testimony and the acknowledgement that we have the right quality because that's what WASC checked, that you have the quality to be accredited by them. Now it is the golden standard in the US, but since the US is the golden standard of education worldwide, WASC accreditation is by definition well accepted worldwide. Now, our plan is to continue being accredited. We have not gone through any, so far, through any local accreditation, simply because everyone evaluate and respect American recognition, and we felt that it is good enough, and as such, good enough for our students. Or the opposite, good enough for our students, and as such, good enough for us.
And I have a question from Shadrach. Uh, he asks, where do you see UO people in 10 years?
Um, 10 years is a long time.
Yes, 10
So
years.
I will just say what I think. I'm not sure, we'll see in 10 years. Write down my answer and coming 10 years and let's see if it happens. However, two things needs to happen. We want to open the doors even wider to more people, but to do that as long as we maintain our quality. So we want to maintain and improve our quality, and I mentioned AI is one way that will help us improve our quality. And while doing so, we want to serve more students. I'm not sure that I know more than that.
Mhm.
How many students, as much as we can accommodate while maintaining our quality. Um, so, as I said, we are there to continue serving more and more and more people and give them the best product they need. By the way, it was in a previous question as well. How do we make our program relevant for the job market? And I think that that has to do with the previous question, but also where we will be in the next 10 years. We will only teach degrees and programs that are relevant for the job market that will help our students to have a better future. So right now we only teach business administration, computer science, and health science, bachelor level, as well as master in education, master in IT, and MBA. We might offer in the future more programs, more certificates, but they will all gear toward the job market. But it is also important for me to mention, we are not only teaching our students for the knowledge that they need in order to get a job, but we also teach them general studies and make sure that they don't only know computer science if they study computer science, but they also are well-rounded individual with critical thinking, with ability to analyze challenges, to learn by themselves, to be creative, because we believe that higher education is not only about what you learn, but also how you develop yourself.
Okay, great. Um, let's go back to AI. By the way, I'm just gonna plug Shai's social media for a second because we post a lot about AI on Shai's social. So if you're not following him, he's on every platform, LinkedIn,
Almost.
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So Shai's talking a lot about AI. So I'm really happy we have this question from Nikita. So Nikita asks. With the rapid advancements in AI and online learning technologies, how do you envision UO people evolving its approach to remain at the forefront of accessible and effective education?
I think that AI will help us to do even more in that from that perspective, because AI will enable us to reach students that we know that need us and are likely to complete their studies with us. When they come to us, AI will help us both to retain them, help them with their difficulties, identify what difficulties they have and help them all the way until they graduate, and then the AI can help them find a job. But that's the non-academic side. There is the academic side. AI help us to have better courses, but helps our professors to give better service and better service to the students. Because the AI can help the professors with a lot of day-to-day work and free their time to give personalized attention to the students, which only human being can give. Also, As I mentioned earlier, AI can help us tailor our pedagogy to the needs of the students and teach each student the best way for them to study. So AI will enable us to reach more students and give them better services. So AI in the future will help us to grow, will help us to give better service to our students while maintaining tuition free, ultra low cost. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's just absolutely incredible how advanced AI has become, and I feel like we haven't even seen half of it. So stay tuned, everybody. Okay, so the next question is from Sahara. Sahara asks, she has two questions. So the first one is, how does UO People support female students and students from conflict-affected countries? That's part one.
We believe that every single being deserves the right for higher education. And women who are deprived from higher education, for any reason, are most welcome to study with us. And we are not treating women different than we treat men, but we enable them to study with us even under very hard circumstances. So one one example would be women who are stay-at-home mom who raise their kids. And as you know, or if you don't know, you should know that when you raise kids, it's not that you have all the time in the world and you are not necessarily the owner of your time because the kids have needs and their needs are not necessarily when you want to be with them, but they need you. So therefore, your time, you need the flexibility, and that's exactly your people. You can be a stay-home mom and study with us when your kid is asleep, when they go to kindergarten, when they go to school, when they fall to sleep at night. Whenever you want, you can study with us because studying with us, you can study anytime, anywhere. You can study in the morning, in the evening, over the weekend, during work time, when you have a break. So we meet because we are asynchronous. You can study anytime and anywhere because you don't have to have a broadband in order to study with us. So this is one way. But there are other women who are deprived from higher education for political or cultural reasons. And the best example will be Afghanistan. Women in Afghanistan are deprived from higher education simply because they are women. And we said this is unheard of, and this is something that we are not going to tolerate. As such, we raise scholarships, and we have right now over 5,400 Afghan women studying with us from Afghanistan. They are hiding, they are not going out, but they are studying with us, and we are very proud to teach them. And we are very proud to come and say, yes, we help women to study in spite of what the Taliban want them to do or don't want them to do. And so that's our help. We have a lot of women with you people. We are very proud of it. By the way, what makes me even more proud is that, I mentioned the thousands of Afghan women who joined us after the Taliban took over. By now, we're starting to have graduates among them. And we did a survey, and 60% of the graduates are working remotely with international companies as programmers. I can't be happier than that. They are making relatively a lot of money compared to other Afghan people. They break, the barriers from advancing their life and their place in the world. And we are very proud that we have done it and it works.
Okay, there is a part two of this question, and I really like the part two also. The part two is, what message do you have for young women from Afghanistan who want to pursue higher education?
Well, actually, without saying that she is Afghan, I talk right about Afghan women. I think that my message to them is that our doors are open to you. It is true that right now we are overwhelmed with Afghan women who want to study with us. We were unable to accommodate all of them. We're raising more money because Afghan women cannot pay our fees, as modest as they are. They cannot afford it. So we need to raise a scholarship for them, and that's what we do. But we hope to be able to accommodate as many Afghan women as there are that are interested in studying with us. We are very proud of our work there, and we hope to be able to do even more. So, yeah.
Okay, great. And from Rada, is this the same Rada? Chicago Rada, I'm not sure. But are there any plans to organize an official online graduation ceremony where students can celebrate with their families and classmates virtually?
That's definitely someone from Chicago. That's a so Chicago question. No, I'm kidding. So, so graduation. We are not doing yearly graduation, but we did two graduation ceremonies in our history. They were both virtual, with virtual ceremony, and which enable our students, wherever they are, to watch the ceremony with their families and be part of it with all their names and with the hats. You are more than welcome to go to our website and look for the previous graduation ceremonies and watch them. It is a nice event. We probably will do it again in the future, every few years. We are not doing any face-to-face. Well, we did we might invite students who want to participate to watch it live in New York, but we are not holding official graduation ceremonies face-to-face simply because we don't have the bandwidth for it, we don't have the money for it. It's something that is quite expensive, and we save our money to serve more students,
Mhm.
which part of the things that are nice to have and we don't have are graduation, face-to-face graduation ceremonies.
Yeah, it's a question I see a lot actually, so I'm really happy you addressed that. So now I want to take some more live questions actually. Let's see. Where I'm just looking through here. Um, well, Thuso asks, says, I'm interested in pursuing a master's degree in public health. After completing Bachelor in Health Science, I would like to kindly ask if this program will be available for enrollment.
We are not currently we are not planning on having master in public health. So the answer is very simple. No,
So,
at least at this point. And it's not on our radar in the near future for sure. So the answer is no. I think that you should all be aware that we are only offering the programs that have huge demand because our point is to serve as many students as needed. We cannot afford developing programs for smaller populations. We might in the future. So, but it's not currently, it's not neither that or, yeah.
well, here's a question from Doug Maui. Doug Maui says, I am writing to inquire about the support that the University of the Student People offers to its students, particularly those learning online in terms of job and career opportunities. I would appreciate any clarification regarding the resources and opportunities available to students, whether they are currently enrolled or have recently graduated.
Right. So we have recently developed a career service center within your people that help our students both with preparing for their life after the university. It took us, I would say that it took us quite some time to develop it because at the beginning, almost all of our students work while studying with us. So there wasn't a strong need to develop a career service center. Now that we are so big, we decided that we do need to develop career service center where we help our students with courses of how to write a resume, how to open a LinkedIn page, how to look for a job, how to be prepared for an interview. So all these skills we teach our students. We also now implementing virtual internship, which is very important because it enables our students, while they're studying with us, to experience virtual internship with companies around the world. And while they're doing that, they get a world life experience. They're getting life experience of what it means to work in the real world. So when they go after that to look for a job, they both have the experience, and in quite a few places, they get job opportunities from the place that they do the internship. So the students, so we are developing it, and we are now implementing it gradually to our students. We are very happy with it, and we think that the more time goes by, the more opportunities we'll have for our students. It is clear for us, students are coming to us in order to have a better future. As such, we should make sure that we prepare them to the job market and help them find a job. And if students want to work, we should try to help them as much as we can finding a job. It's not necessarily that we can help every student all the time, but as much as we can, we should do so. We are very happy with our graduates right now. The percentage of the students who are employed are tremendous, and we have people who work with Apple and Google and IBM and Amazon and the World Bank. At the same time, with graduates who continue toward PhD with Carnegie Mellon and people who continue their studies with MIT. So, we are very happy with how our graduates do. Now that we are WASC accredited, they will be even more welcomed by other academic institutions. And we definitely feel that we want to help as much as we can to our students. I invite you to approach our Career Service Center, and I promise all of you that we are going to offer more and more of them. Yeah.
I see Hassan from Nigeria. He's an internationally displaced person from Nigeria, and I just thought maybe it would be a good opportunity for you to talk about your commitment to refugees and IDPs at University of the People.
Okay, good. And we have quite a few IDPs from Nigeria that left. Many of them left northern Nigeria because of Boko Haram, and they are IDPs. University of the People, from day one, we believe that refugees are the very people who deserve to get the chance for higher education. And the reason for that is that, when you're a refugee and you ran out of your home, pretty much usually with nothing, and if you find yourself in a refugee camp, you are stuck. We, the people who are not in a refugee status, tend to think that you go to a refugee camp for a year or two and then you go back to your home country. It never happens. A typical refugee spent over 20 years in a refugee camp. So the only way to get out of their situation is through education. And therefore, we from day one decided that we are going to open the gates for higher education for refugees. And IDPs, for me, are exactly like refugees. There is no difference between them. People who were forced to leave their homes, whether they were forced to leave their home to a different place in their home country or to a new country, in both cases, they lost their homes. So they are both migrants. And we should help both of them, and we open the doors to all of them. Just to let you know that when the war in Syria started, and in 2012, and there were millions who left Syria, and all the universities were bombed, we were flooded by Syrian refugees, students who tried to continue studying with us. and they couldn't make it because of the language, because they studied in Arabic, not in English. So for them, we decided to develop You People in Arabic. So You People Arabic is a program that was built especially for Syrian refugees. Now, as it was developed, obviously we opened the doors to everyone else. If we have a program in Arabic, anyone who wants to study in Arabic is welcome to study with us. And by now we have 30,000 students who study in Arabic. So we are all the time looking at refugees. I would mention two more things. UNHCR, which is the UN Commission for Higher Education, announced a few years ago a new project that is called 15 by 30. And this initiative meant that they hope that by the year 2030, 15% of the refugees in the age group, the relevant age group, will attend higher education compared to the 6% that was the current situation. We right away pledged for 25,000 students. I guess you all understand that no university in the world pledged to 25,000 students.
Right.
And this year, because we saw that we are getting closer to this number, we pledged to 35,000 students. Right now, University of the People have almost 34,000 refugees and internally displaced people. By the way, UNHCR only count refugees and not IDPs, and I make the number that combine the two of them, but still 34,000 of them. And from my perspective, there wasn't a better reason for the creation of your people than serving the refugees, the people who need us most for the future of their education. We have refugees from, as I mentioned, Syria. Refugees and IDPs from Syria, because many of them are actually in Syria, Yemen, Myanmar, Rohingyas, Nigeria, quite a few from Nigeria, Ethiopia, Ukraine, Afghanistan, just name it. So many countries, and we are very proud of doing it. Last but not least, I'll tell you that last week I was part of a conference in Rome on migration and refugees. And we were invited to the Vatican, and I met the Pope, who congratulated us for the great work we're doing. So, I was very proud to meet him and very happy to hear how committed he is to help refugees. He is the second Pope who keep talking about refugees, which I'm very happy because he has a lot of influence in the world, especially on Catholic universities, and this is very important. And we are not a Catholic university, but we still like anyone who is supporting refugees, and we'll continue doing it as much as we can and as much as we should.
Okay. It's a topic you're very passionate about. So I'm glad Hassan brought that up. Um,
Thanks for the question, indeed.
so uh let's see. Raphael, he wants to know if agriculture is something up your sleeves. I like this up your sleeves. Um, is agriculture up your sleeves?
Um, well, Look, I do not think that we are going to offer agriculture. Um, the only way that we offer a program, we need two conditions for that. First, that there is a huge demand for it. Well, three things. Second, that it is international. Third, that someone will come and say, we are going to sponsor this program for you. We develop a program in Arabic. We want to develop a program in Spanish. We do not develop it because we couldn't find the money for that. So even if we decide that there is a big demand for agriculture and we can teach a program that will be global, even though agriculture is a little bit harder to be global. There are some things that are local, but still, we need to find a partner who will help us developing the program. So it's not in our sleeves.
It's not up your sleeves. Not yet.
It's not yet up our sleeves, but
Yeah.
maybe one day. But I want to I see a question about NYSC, which it's a Nigerian question, but for those who are not from Nigeria, a program needs to be recognized by NYSC so graduate can join the service program. It's something very Nigerian, but very important to Nigeria. We tried to make it work. However, what we realized that while things change in Nigeria toward online learning, they've not changed all the way. And online learning that is fully online, that students did not spend time physically abroad studying in the foreign university, it will not be recognized by NYSC. We talking to them, will continue talking to them. It's beyond our capabilities. It's not only your people, it's all online universities. It's a shame from Nigeria. If our graduates can continue with MIT, they cannot be recognized in Nigeria. It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, the Nigerian recognize the quality of American education, but it takes time. Higher education is slow to recognize, but we do know we have tens of thousands of students from Nigeria. They evaluate what they get from us and they continue coming to us, and I hope that we will be able to resolve it. We have not so far, and I can't guarantee if and when it will be resolved, and I should be transparent about it.
Okay, great. Thank you for addressing that. I see a really great question from Zahara or Zara. How can students get more academic support if they struggle with their studies?
First of all, you have two people that you can approach. First one is your instructor. That's why you have an instructor. And if you have challenges, go to the instructor, tell them what challenges and see if they can help you. Second is your program advisor. If you feel that your instructor is not giving you enough help and you need more, go to the program advisor. Now, the program advisor is extremely important because they know the entire university, who is there, who can help in what, and they will know how to address the challenges and how to address any question and who will be the best person to approach. But as I said earlier, one thing is the most important. Don't give up, even if it's hard.
Yeah, it's a really good advice. I know the semester or the term, sorry, the term where I think it's been about a month. No, 2 months.
It's about a month. It's over
About
a
a month,
month.
yeah. So if anyone is feels like they're struggling out there, I really encourage you to seek help because the University of the People has set up their programs so you have all the support that you can. I'm just looking at other questions here. Well, I love all the questions. This is so interactive. It's really great. Let's see. Shai, do you see any questions that
I'm
you?
reading while you're reading as well.
Yeah, I keep getting distracted. Okay. Uh, uh, uh. Okay. I see one. Okay.
Yeah, I see one also. Do you
Okay,
want me to go?
yeah, you go. I'll let you take the floor.
Okay, so the question from Noheli Valencia,
Ah, yes, okay, I see this.
she said, thanks a lot for creating this university. I'd like to know if there are any scholarship opportunities for the Master of Education, whether it is directly with your people or other institutions that grant scholarship for graduate students at your people. Okay, so if we come to the day where we have enough scholarship for everyone, we'll give scholarship to everyone, anyone who deserves it. However, we don't have enough scholarships. We always have more people who ask for scholarship than the number of scholarship that we have. So as such, we decided that first priority for us are undergraduate students, simply because they did not have the opportunity for higher education at all. and people with a bachelor degree had the opportunity. They want master degree, which I highly applaud them for that, but they had a chance. We first should get the scholarship the people who did not have any chance, and that's why we give priority to undergraduate. That's our policy. However, there are occasions where we get dedicated scholarship for graduate students. And if we have a dedicated scholarship for graduate students, we do give it to graduate students. So go online and see what scholarship we have and ask your admission advisors if you are in the admission process, part of the admission process, if you're an applicant. If you're a student, ask your program advisor if there are available scholarship. I would just say regarding a master in education, because that was your question. We have a partnership with the IB, the International Baccalaureate. So our pedagogy is aligned with the IB pedagogy. They help us develop the program, and they are our partner to the program. Part of our partnership, they offer scholarships for students to study for their master in education with your people. I recommend that you will go check what the IB requirements are, try to apply for that, and if you get it, you have a full scholarship to study with your people. That's the only program that I know of that is actually quite intensive and offer a master level scholarship, and it is for students who study a master in education.
Okay. I like that question. If anyone else has a question, we still have about 8 minutes, so feel free to drop a question. I can ask a question. I see another question from Amiru. I'd love to ask President Shai Reshef, what advice would you give to students who are balancing academic responsibilities with work and personal life, and how can you help people continue to support students in achieving their goals despite these challenges?
I think that every single person encounters challenges along their life, whether it is issues with their family, with their work, with their health or their family's health, with their pets, whatever it is. And in many times, these challenges makes it harder for students to study, make it harder for them to succeed, and sometimes it forces them to stop their studies. We cannot help students with every problem they have, but what we can do and do is being as flexible as possible to help our students. When we see the students take 2 courses and they struggle with them, in many cases, we approach them and tell them drop 1 course before the deadline and study only 1 course. Make it easier for you to make sure that you succeed in this course rather than failing 2 courses. Sometimes we let students, regularly, BA takes 4 years. And today, most universities let the students do it in 6 years. We let students do it even in longer than 6 years. Again, because we know that most of our students work while studying and have families and have other issues. We don't recommend our students to take breaks because you know it. Let's face it, it's hard studying. And we want you to be on track. And when you take a break, it's really hard to come back. So we don't want you to take breaks. But sometimes life forces you to take breaks. So sure, take a break. So we try to give you some advice. We try to be on your side. But again, we are a university and we maintain high academic standards. And if you fail, you cannot continue with us. So we want to help you to succeed and stay with us. We do not want you to fail and stay with us because that simply won't happen. If you fail, you don't stay with us. And we want you to do the best you can in order to succeed. And we want to try to help you to succeed. as much as we can. And by the way, if you're on scholarship and you fail, you lose your scholarship because keeping high academic standards is part of being a U People student. And if you don't meet our academic standards, you simply cannot stay with us. So some students, when they come to us, they quite shocked how high our academic standards are. But they learn, and most of them obviously continue with us and succeed. Some don't because it's too much for them. So I'm saying if you have difficulties, come and ask for help. We will be there to help you, but make sure that you are not falling behind because then it's not you're on the wrong track.
Okay, it's really good advice. We have just a few more minutes left. I see a long question from Noheli, asking if you know of any alumni who entered med school. That's an interesting question.
What's the question? Sorry.
Do you have
Med
any
school.
alumni at UO people who entered med school, like after studying health science?
Clubs at med school. Well, should I start with med school that we don't have or clubs that we don't have?
No, I think Noel is asking if you know of any alum who got their bachelor's and then went to med school, like from UO people. I know of stories, I just can't think of them. But I
I
remember
don't, yeah,
reading.
I don't know. I don't know. Um, well, I would say that, we have by now a lot of alumni. We haven't, because we were a young university, we haven't done a lot with our alumni. Our plan is to build our alumni network and connect them. So hopefully it will not take us too long. And at that time, please join and try to find if there are
Yes, well, now
med
I'm
school.
gonna go. I swear there is a story. No, Helly, I'm gonna find your email and follow up with you because I do remember stories about people going to med school. I just need to find them. So stay tuned, Noheli. So let's see. I think that's about we're out of time. What do you think?
I think we are out of time, but it was fascinating and it
This
was
was so
a
fun.
great conversation. Maybe we should do it more often. It was
I know. I
great.
love the interactions. It's really nice. And thank you guys to the students for participating. I mean, this really made the webinar. I think it also made it more authentic because we're actually speaking with
Exactly.
you. It's really fun, really nice.
Great question. And if there were questions that we haven't answered, please feel free to drop an email and we'll answer you, or join the next webinar and ask it there. And
Yes,
we will have a priority to people who asked last time and we didn't answer.
Yeah, feel free to send us questions. Okay, no, Helly, thank you. I am saving this now. Um, okay, guys, thank you so much. This was a really great conversation. If you're not following Shai on all his social media, you must, because he's sharing a lot of good advice, information, stories, facts. And we are addressing a lot of topics that I think are relevant to the students. So, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Shai, for your time. We know you're a very busy president.
Well, I love doing it. I love talking to the students, even though it's not really talking with them, it's talking to them, but still listening to their great questions. And I hope we can do it more. So
Yes, me
thank you
too.
so much. Thank you, Jessica,
Thank you, Shai.
as always. And thank you all for joining us.
Yeah,
And
thank you guys for joining.
let's hope for a great academic year to
Yeah,
all of
good
us.
luck, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Well,
Good luck. Bye.
bye.